What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday Wisdom here with Dan at Right Now Powder Coating. Let's get going. All right, guys, we are in my shop today. It is lunchtime. That's the only time I could get it to be quiet, so I kicked them out there at lunch. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about conditions in your shop and how they affect your powder coating. We had a guy comment on the last video asking us how to keep debris and that kind of stuff from falling into your parts. Obviously, the simple answer is keep everything clean. We are not doing a very good job of that. Look at our floors. So the one thing I try to do is we try to sweep after the end of every single day, get all the powder up and all that kind of stuff, mop the floors if you need to. We've got a hose here, so we rinse the floors quite a bit, down the drain. That's going to be the biggest thing. So as powder builds up on everything, it's got the tendency that it could fall. As you can see, our ceiling's covered, our walls are covered. So before we change colors, we'll usually blow everything back in our booth towards the filters, get it all cleaned out, make sure that it's good. The other thing we've found from time to time is stuff can fall from your cart. So these wheels are out of the stripper. They're about ready to go to sandblasting, but on the bottom side of your carts, it can build up paint. We've had paint fall off of here. We've had different contaminations in the air get on there and fall onto parts. Usually when you get your debris, it's going to be while you're moving the cart because you're vibrating it. Stuff can fall off that way. Another big thing is your oven. Make sure you clean your oven from time to time, and to do that, it's pretty simple. You can blow it out with your air, you can vacuum it out, you can sweep it out. You can actually build up, I forget the term for it, so I apologize, but you could, when some powders cure, they give off a vapor of some sort or whatever, but it's like builds up on your walls and it can start to kind of crackle and peel and fall off. And I apologize, I'm doing this on the fly, so the brain's working overtime, but you want to make sure that you knock all that stuff off the walls. You could scrape it off or whatever. We usually scrape our walls off every 4 to 6 months. We'll sweep it out every week or vacuum it, and then we'll also do a wet mop. We'll actually just get a bucket of water, mop it out, wring it out, mop it out, wring it out, and then go through and blow everything out of the oven. That way, when you crank that thing on, the fans don't churn up all that dirt and dust you knocked loose and put it in your parts. So you got to make sure you watch that too. Make sure you clean your parts after you sandblast. That's a big thing. If you don't get all that sand and stuff off of there or out of the holes and crevices, you could have some issues. The other thing, if you're in a big shop like this, we've got a lot going on day to day. So you may have someone on this side of the shop who's powder coating. You may have someone in the middle of the shop who's grinding. And then if you go all the way to the other side, we've added a CNC plasma table, which when it's cutting the metal, it's putting a bunch of debris up in there. It's in that room there. So you can have a lot of stuff going on in your shop if you've got people spraying aerosol cans or solvents or anything. That stuff gets up in the air. It can get into your paint. I've seen situations where the painter changed their deodorant and it must have been hot or something. He had his arm up and it was getting on the parts and causing some craters and stuff. So you've got to really, really pay attention to what your environment looks like, what kind of chemicals you have in it, the last time those were used. We've got a chemical room here that we try to keep all of our strippers in and everything like that that might cause corrosion. You can see it took us a while to figure it out. Our oven actually has rust on it because before we built that room, it was getting out. So now we've got it in there. We've got an air scrubber in there, and we've got a vent to vent it outside. So it's taken us a long time to figure this out. The stuff you guys are going through, we've gone through it too. Just yesterday, we did a set of black wheels. We've got a guy, he's a little newer. He's about 6 months into powder coating, and he had the black wheels in the oven. He sprayed some parts in white, and then he went and shut the fans off right away. So all that particle from the powder was still floating in the air. And as he took those hot wheels out, it got all over him. And he couldn't figure out what happened. Well, you got to keep your fans on to get all that dust collected, all the powder collected, and out of the air, because it can just kind of loft around. You blow those parts out, it's hot, that powder hits it, it's gonna melt immediately and ruin your parts. So we had to strip them, start them all over. So there's a ton of stuff like that. The one trick that I use from time to time, if it's super dusty, if you put a flashlight up and you see just debris everywhere, we'll actually take our hose, turn it to kind of the fan pattern, and just spray it up into the air. Knock all that dust and stuff out of the air. Obviously you don't want to spray powder, you don't want to spray your gun or anything else. You don't want to spray raw parts. We keep a lot of, this is kind of our staging area. You don't want to spray those because then they're going to rust out and stuff. So spray the area, get all that dust and everything out, and you should be good to go. I think that's about it. So just be very mindful of what's on in your booth, in your oven, on your carts, what chemicals you're using in your shop. I mean, if you have to be spraying aerosols and stuff like that, you may just need to section off that area, section off your paint booth, your oven area, just so you keep all that out of there. But hopefully you guys got something out of this Wednesday wisdom. Keep the comments coming. I hope to keep answering your questions and different problems you guys are running into day to day. So with that, I'm going to check out. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one.